Good morning, Year Sevens. I hope yesterday's lesson was helpful and you understood what is the difference between balanced and unbalanced forces and how do they affect on an object. Okay, so you're going to be using that information for today's lesson, which is on air resistance. Okay, so air resistance is a type of a force, and an opposite force to air resistance would be gravity. So you have gravity pulling objects towards Earth, whereas air resistance basically pulls things away, or it's the equal and opposite force of gravity. So it's the opposite of gravity, going upwards. Okay, so you'll be reading a comic which kind of gives you an idea where did we get this concept of air resistance and how did we use it in real life. So this little story will help you come to that conclusion. And then what I want you to do is you're going to watch this little video on how to make homemade parachutes. Okay, so you're going to be making mini parachutes at home if you have all the materials. Okay, so Diaiki, I think that's how you pronounce the name. Diaiki is a character from comic, and you will come to understand why Diaiki may need a parachute. Okay, so you can make this parachute for Diaiki. In fact, you're not going to be making one, but I want you to be making two parachutes, because what I want you to do is I want you to test for me what happens when you have when you use different materials to make parachute, when you have different size or shape of the parachute, what happens to how fast it would reach the ground. Okay, so you're going to be doing a little experiment at home if you're able to make the parachute at home. If you're not, then that's okay. You can just watch the video, because in the video, the people who are showing you how to make parachute, they do that little experiment themselves. So if you're not able to make it, that's okay as well. You can watch it in the video. So yeah, so this is the slide story about the Bob, and then this is the comic. So you click on this image, it will take you to the comic, and there you are. It's not too long. It's a short. It's really short. It's just only 6 pages. So you can read that from your iPad. And then once you have done that, you watch this video on the parachute making. And then this is a little bit of guidance on how to make your own parachute. So like I said, make 2 parachutes. This should be an S there. With at least one difference. Okay, so one of the parachute could be smaller than the other, so you can change the size of the parachute, or you can change the size of the string of the parachute. So one of the parachute has shorter string, and one of them would have bigger or longer string. Sorry. Or you can actually change the type of the string as well. You can use a thick string or a thread, like a really tiny thread. Okay, you can change the material of the parachute as well. So you can use cloth, or you can use plastic bag, anything that you have at home. And then you can change the object that's holding the parachute down. Okay, so this you can change it to different things. So in the video you'll see they use yogurt pot. You can use other not animals, sorry. You can use other, what do you call them, playing figures, like maybe plastic soldiers, or any toys that you have. You can use any of your toys as the object that's holding the parachute down. Okay, you can also make something like this, so multiple bags or multiple things with one object, and see how that affects how fast the parachute would land from top to the bottom. Okay, so when you are dropping the parachute, you need to make sure that you drop them from the same height. Okay, because if it's dropped at different height, we don't know if it was because of the height that the parachute landed to the floor first, or was it really because of the material or the size or the shape, etc.